PerkyPlanes and RC here, operating at 2.4 gigahertz and getting back to the good old Tiger Moth. I'm eating some coffee here. Yeah, damn it, I drank it all. Okay, so getting back to work on the Tiger Moth. And just kind of bring you guys up to speed on a few things here. It hasn't really changed since the last time. And just had some other miscellaneous things pop up. And honestly, I think it's kind of nice to sort of work on it, step back for a little bit, work on it, step back for a little bit. I think that helps kind of keep your keep your mind in check and your sanity in check. So, anyways, this is an interesting thing here. So I was kind of working this next step here, and believe it or not, we're still on step one. I mean, with the progress and everything, obviously you can tell not a lot's been done, but you know, this is step one. Each step is like a paragraph or a small short story or something. So, unlike when I did my Cloud Ranger, where it was literally just like a little blurb, and then that was step one. Step two, another little blurb. It was just very quick. This is more in depth. So, the part that I'm looking at now is, let's see, right where my thumb is, starting there, it says cut part 14 to shape from 6mm sheet and gluing position followed by parts 15, 16, and 17. I must tell you, I went on a wild goose chase looking for number 14 on the plans. And I did find it. Let me give you a little zoom in here to show you. You know, I'm used to looking for like these, you know, the sticks here, but 14, you know, obviously was a sheet. And there it is, just kind of off by itself. So, anyways, and it's saying, let me read the instructions again here. Position followed by parts 15, 16, and 17. So, now 14 is right here. And then here's like these little cross braces. So here's 17, here's 16, and then here is 15. So, you know, my interpretation, of course, of this is that the sheet, or the sheet goes, well, technically, I think this will be like the other side of it, and then the sheet will be like underneath all that, and then you have your cross braces 15, 16, and 17. So that's my interpretation of this. And it looks to me as if, from the plans here, I'm not sure how far back number 14, the 14 sheet actually goes. I guess the length of whatever the sheet itself, but it looks like you have to cut this small slit in it, like so. That's what it appears like to me. And then it kind of closes up right here. So that's what I'm interpreting this as. So I think this is going to be a very tricky thing to do, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that what your interpretation of this is? Let me try and locate this sheet for a second. Let me set you guys back down for a moment here. All right, bringing you guys back here. So this is what I've been able to decipher on this. I need a, I'm starting to think I need a translator for all this. I'm trying. Okay, so anyways, part 14, from looking at the plans and all that, part 14 is just this section of the tail right here. So that's all we're talking about. It is in metric, it is a 6mm, 76mm, 914mm balsa sheet. In metric terms, of course, 6mm is, I'm not sure, I have to convert. Regardless, this is the thickness of 6mm right here. I just checked with my caliper. 76mm is 3 inches, and 914. Let me bring up to view here. So this is the guy we're talking about right here. So like I said, 6mm, 76, that's 3 inches, and then 914 is 36 inches. So, amidst all those parts, I found it. This is it right here. And this thing applies for other multiple parts of the build. So, but we're just going to be cutting off a section of this to fit right there, to fill that on the tail section. So basically that right there. So that's what we'll be doing. And then it says final parts 15, 16, 17. Those are those cross braces through here. Well, if I get it right. So there's 17, there's 16, and 15. So there's that. So that's just the one part. And then I have to more or less continue my duplication of the one side here. So this is just the one side. And then here is the second side, which I'm building. If I can get that in the frame. It's a rather long piece. I'm going to flip it around here a little bit. That was the one end, of course, then here's the other. So, anyways, that's what we got right now. So let me go ahead and we'll cut this section here. And I'll put those cross braces in for 17, well 15, 16, 17, we'll get those put in. And I still am not sure about this slit right here, though. That's kind of makes me wonder. I don't see anything coming out of that. Like, I would think that maybe a push rod comes out of that slit or something like that, but I don't see one. I suppose if need be, we can cut it later, if that's what it is. But, yeah, that's, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of I don't knows on this build. I will say a motto that I've kind of, that someone had told me at one time that I've sort of decided to live by is basically, in a summarized way, basically this. Get in and do it, right, wrong, or stupid. So, and I've more or less adopted that motto, and I'm hoping there'll be more rights than wrongs or stupids, but I can't make any guarantees. All right, so anyways, let me get cutting this piece here. We'll glue it in place. I'll see if I can get the cross braces put in as well, and kind of go from there. So let me go ahead. I probably can't do that here on camera just because of the I'll need to drag some things out, but regardless, I'll get it cut to shape and all that good stuff. Got it. All right, got the piece cut. Couple things here. So I got the piece cut. This is going to be number 14. Mike, I'm taking your suggestion on the balsa dust. Trying to keep a little collection of balsa dust for filler and stuff. So thought that was a very good idea. So I'm starting my own little collection there. And another thing here too. This is the saw I'm using. This is a Harbor Freight deal. I'm not fully against Harbor Freight. I mean, I think that you can get some pretty decent working tools from there, but you know, and I especially love these little saws. They're super cheap and they do the job, especially for working with balsa here. So, but yeah, that's a Harbor Freight little saw deal. So, but anyways, something I was wondering about on this build, and this particular piece is basically, do I glue this on the other side? Like, lift this up and put that in that place there? Or do I put this over top? I mean, of course I got those pins in the way, but do I put it over top? So that is something I'm not quite sure of. We're making, so essentially, you know, like I said, we're building two, you know, this is side one, and I'll be building side two, which is basically a mirror of that. So it makes me kind of wonder, like, where does this piece fall? Does that fall, you know, underneath this framing here, or does it go on top of that? So, do not know. So I might go ahead and at least get the cross braces in place first, 15, 15, 16, and then 17. I might go ahead and put those in first. And then really kind of think on this whole idea of where that needs to go. I don't want to have to repeat my steps if I can help it, but it may very well happen. So anyways, so that's 14's cut there. Let me go ahead and I'm going to cut these cross braces and glue those into place. Okay, so I was going to go back to work here or work on these cross braces for 15, 16, and 17. Ran into a little bit of a snag, and let me kind of show what we have here. So 15, 16, and 17 on the parts list here is a 4.5 millimeter by 6 millimeter by 914 millimeter balsa. Well, obviously that's a 36-inch stick. 6 millimeter, I can kind of eyeball. I mean, I can kind of look at it and tell it's the 6 millimeter size stick. The 4.5 though is the problem. So I've been using my caliper and going through every stick in the box trying to find it. And this right here is the closest I could get. I'm trying to get that into view there a little bit. Come on, focus. But anyways, let me see if I can kind of demonstrate this. I can tell the one side obviously is 6. Yeah, I can see that. Now the other side, it ain't gonna be 4.5, but it's the closest one I could get. So, and I'm kind of putting a little bit of pressure on it. It's about a 4.8, 4.9. So I think that's the best that's the best stick I could find out of that. So whether that's correct or not, I don't know. It's close enough for my liking. So let me go ahead and so it was a little bit of a journey just trying to find the piece. So anyways, let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and cut this to size for those cross braces, and then we'll finally glue them in. So one of the things I try to do on these cross braces is try to cut a little bit of an angle on each end, so it would really kind of, basically butt up with the with these little, about as flush as I could get them. So that way it kind of gives better contact and has a better bond. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and glue those into place. I use the super thin, or the thin on that, just to kind of help it get really into that seam real good. All right, we'll go ahead and let that sit for a moment there and kind of get glued in place. Like I said, still not sure about this section. Still not sure if that's going to go on the outer side here, or if it's going to go underneath. I would think, and that's a pretty beefy piece, which I guess, I could kind of see that on the tail section there. But yeah, just kind of unsure about where to glue that particular piece at, if that's actually going to be on the outside like that, or if it's going to be on the, if I have to lift the piece up and then put it on the bottom like that. So, do not know. We will see. All right, guys. Well, like I said, it's kind of the next plans here. Let me kind of angle this back up here. So kind of the next plans here is we're going to finish the mirror of this side over here. So kind of hard to see, like it's a big long stick, but basically we're going to mirror this. Let me see if I can maybe lay it like this here. That's a better view. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be a complete mirror. This is the one side here. Of course, this is going to be the mirror of that side. So I've basically have to duplicate what I just did. So the whole thing. So not just this, but also this stick right here, these original braces right here, and then of course those cross braces I just put in. So that's kind of the next steps. Well, hey guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the video on the progress on the Tiger Moth for now. But I do definitely have plans to kind of keep the ball rolling, and trying to get things, some footage out, some progress, and just basically just keep it going as much as I possibly can. I wanted this to be a little more of an in-depth thing. I think the last time I did an update, it was very it was just a big time-lapse thing and all that. So I want to be a little more in-depth this time, and kind of showcase a little more hands-on, that kind of thing. I appreciate your all's feedback, comments, suggestions, anything on the progress and how I'm doing the videos and progress on it so far. I kind of want to. I don't want to do everything all time-lapse, because I don't want to not show something that may be important, because you can easily just glance by it in a time lapse. So I figure I'm thinking what I might do is just kind of do a mixture. So do some kind of hands-on discussion kind of thing, as well as maybe throw a little bit of time lapse in it too. So, but like I said, I welcome any comments, suggestions, or anything on it. The progress on this one is, as I expected, it's going to be slow. And like I said, I'm a patient, stubborn guy, so I can deal with it. So, but anyways, that's all for this one. If you guys have any interpretations on part number 14, as far as how that's going to go on the plan, or how it's going to go on the build itself, if that goes on the one side or the underside. I don't think it would be good to have that piece on the underside and elevate the rest of the structure, if I need to do other parts to the build. So it makes more sense to me to lay it on top. But I know we're kind of doing, we're kind of basically making a mirror side is what we're more or less doing. So if you got some feedback or anything on that, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll probably just hammer away at it, and if I make a boo-boo, I make a boo-boo. So, we'll see. Alright guys, that's it for me. I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.